Hi, so we're still trying to take this out. Um, yeah, it's taking forever. Seemingly for realios, forever. Um, I don't know. I kind of feel like um, when I say stuff like for realios or something like that, I sound like the parent that's trying to be hip and the kids over there groaning, going, "Mom, don't do that." Um, anyway, yeah, like I was getting embarrassed for the guy yesterday. There was an episode of Nash Bridges that we were watching, and the guy was, trying to sound all cool and stuff, and he does, he does not sound cool. He just sounds like he's trying to fit in, but he's really not. So, anyway, he was, saying whatever he was saying and just not sounding great. That still needs, um, that still needs the boats down there. Do I have room for boats in my inventory? Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I did not mean to sound like a valley girl for a second there. Okay. I was about to say I think I grew up in the valley, but I really didn't. I grew up in a little town called Susoon, and it's really close to Fairfield. Um, they're just divided by railroad tracks, and Spruce. They're just divided by railroad tracks, and then there. Hello. Why can't I put another one? Okay. So, in one of my books, it said that Sean, Jesse, Brandon, one of them, it was sentenced to the rowing team. It was Sean and Jesse were sentenced to the rowing team, and they passed on their knowledge to their younger brother, Brandon. So, yeah. I haven't gotten to listen to that story that I really wanted to listen to because I was telling you all about it. It's got a bit. Oh, hey, hi. We have another first time chatter, Anna7645. And, I think they're saying, yo! Again, I think I sound really dorky when I'm trying to use, younger people language. But Maybe I don't. I don't know. Just in case you didn't watch yesterday's stream because it was hideously long, art classroom, art classroom. And if you're wondering why, uh, why the red isn't there, is because, all the classrooms had windows, uh, had the window piece right here. So, we ended up with red stained glass instead. And then the ROTC classroom. I don't remember how big that ROTC classroom actually was, but I remember it being pretty big. And the art classroom is pretty big because they had, they had like dinner table sized tables in there instead of the desks. Um, so they had, they had dinner table sized tables instead of desks. So, um, so the one guy, he was, I guess, aspiring to be, he wanted to be a really famous artist when he grew up, I'm guessing, because he got mad at me for, uh, yeah, we'll call it dawdling. With dawdling with the paint. I was letting it drip back into the paint thing, and it's like my grade didn't depend on him, and his grade didn't depend on me. So what is the big deal? That was the day that we were supposed to be using paint and getting it to go. It was like really dark at the top and then really, really, really light, so it's almost white at the bottom. I don't know how I did, because that was a long time ago, over 20 years. But, um, yeah, I'm not really an artist. I could draw a pretty good building and a landscape, but it doesn't really look like anything. It looks like, what you would expect to see on oh, okay. So, Anna was asking, what am I building? And this is the world from my stories. Well, this is a world when they're at home and aren't on the ocean in the ship. There is a ship built. I think it's a little too small though. But anyway, there's a ship built over there, and I need to go and check on that today. So maybe as soon as we get down to the bottom level there and get it away, we'll go check on that just to make sure, because the last time I started rebuilding this in um, April of 2024 because my world got corrupted. And So I pride myself on doing this every single morning. I have no idea what I was just talking about, but um, I pride myself on doing this every single morning between 8 and 11 or noon, depending on what's going on that day. I don't really feel like doing Roblox today, so I might do it later, but just not right now. And I only do Theme Park Tycoon 2 anyway, so um, so I'm hearing from people that there was an issue where some adult type people were talking to some non adult type people in an adult type manner, and the uh, the under 18 person turned them in like you're supposed to do, and Roblox sided with the people who were doing the bad stuff. So, um, so I was kind of thinking of doing Mega Hide and Seek the other day, and I talked myself out of it because I'm like, they don't deserve me to play more than one game. The only reason why I'm doing Theme Park Tycoon 2 is because I like it. You know, I like building a theme park. So, okay. I'm not a new stream. Mm. Again, helps to spell things right. Wait. Just a moment. Oh, wait, yeah. So this morning, we don't know what happened, but the garbage man just like was going down our street and just skipped a whole bunch of houses, didn't stop. And that's not like them. They usually stop, and um, I kind of hope somebody from a high a boss person in the garbage company around here is watching this at some point because literally they told us to put our garbage can in a certain spot. And then when they finally did come and get all the garbage, they put the garbage cans right behind everybody's cars. And it's like, excuse me, if you're going to tell us to put our garbage cans in a certain spot, yeah, dang well put them back where you found them. So, anyway, my husband ended up dragging it from where they did put it and putting it right in front of the laundry door. So, if I did want to do laundry today, I can't do it. Or I gotta go and put it in his way for when he gets home. And then he'd be like, "What'd you do that for?" And I'll go, "I was trying to do laundry." You know, so. um, um, yeah, I kind of, I kind of understand. She's asking to have I heard a visual theme, and it's like, well, I'm gonna say not really because I don't entirely get it, but like, if you're building a like space world, then you want to have, space looking stuff. And if you're building the world that people usually build, um it's like the Robin Hood times and you got taverns and you still have bookstores and stuff, but or libraries, and you have castles and stuff like that. Well, my build kind of has a little bit of everything. It's supposed to have a castle. Um, see, in one of my books, we go from fictional Ireland here to fictional Russia, way over there. Way, way, way over there. And I don't know if it was because I was building the buildings a little too, uh, real life, or if it was just because I was using too much, fireworks or something like that in the world, but it got all corrupted and it really sucked. And so I ended up having to rebuild it in April of 2024. And then I started building this one in like December, I think, of 2024. Um, I was building the one that says April 2024 all summer, and I got most of the stuff built except for the houses. I got most of the stuff built, and I was really really happy with it. And then I was like, you know what? I really don't like that it doesn't have the cliff that it's supposed to have over by the mansion. Oh, see, I used AI art for my the books I write are pirate books. They're about my pirates. Um, so that's a pirate ship. on my banner. Calling it teenager speak. Uh, and I typed a word that not quite understanding. It's probably it's probably short for something, and like teenagers understand it, but I don't. Yeah. Again, I've been offered art help. Um, and I realize I do need some kind of art help because if somebody could use something like, say, I don't think that's the right one, but like if somebody could use a CAD program and you know or some kind of art program to make my pirate ship, but look digital and real, it'd be like way cool. Well, it probably is digital because it's in the game, but yeah. Um, well, I guess we could have the thing go through here, but I've already got it routed so a different way. See, this is with a few little exceptions. This is the high school I went to. I had to rework a few things and guess where windows and stuff were, but yeah. So like A wing, B wing, C wing, D wing. And then there was portables over here. That was a J wing. By the time my husband got out of school, there was a J wing and a K wing. That is the little Um, anyway, that's a daycare, and it was a daycare and a classroom at the same time, and I kind of wish I would have taken that class. Um, oh, and then this is the band room. I don't think it was actually that shape. I think it was actually more of a square, but um, underneath that part of the roof is Mr. Campbell's office, Miss Jacob office, and Miss Sparrow office. Um, Miss Sparrow was the band secretary. Mr. Campbell was the lead. He was the head band director, and then Miss Jacob was the, I guess, assistant band director. I'm not entirely sure. On this side, there was the room that the Pums kept their stuff in, band cheerleaders. And then here there's some. Oh, why don't we just go inside? Makes more sense. So Miss Sparrow, Miss Jacob, and Mr. Campbell, and then there was a whole bunch of stuff back here. Um, but the room wasn't actually as long as it shows here. And then, like I said, the Pums had their stuff in here. But again, I don't think it was really that long. And then there's some practice classrooms. I didn't actually put the doors on, but they're there. And then lockers, so like if you don't want to carry your trumpet around with you all day long, I think it fit in there, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, and then on this wall over here was a bunch of trophies. But right now we're going to go out of the school. Oh, this building right here is the school gym. I'm still trying to get that dang mountain out of my build. Swimming pool. I still think it's a little too skinny from side to side, but we'll leave it. Like I said, the art classrooms that I finally built, and ROTC classroom, and then over here, this is gonna be the tennis court. I just gotta finish building it and it'll be fine. That is the auto shop. This is gonna be computer classroom and typing classroom. More portables. Um, okay, so in my story, I had to think about that because Ireland has soccer and they call it football. But when I was saying football, I meant American football. So this is the for American football. And yes, this set of bleachers over here is a lot taller than that set of bleachers over there. And I don't know why they did that. I think it's kind of rude, but it'll be okay. And then there's the Ireland football, so what Americans would call soccer. And then we have baseball and baseball. It's not set up though. And baseball. Oh, the parking lot. But I added trees. I did not like that our school did not have trees and like in the warmer months it was like Africa hot. Or at least it sure felt like it. I'm from California originally, so we live in Nevada now, but I'm from California, so I don't know what Africa hot actually feels like. That is an old abandoned cereal factory, and it actually has the silos. See, silos. Oh, that last silo doesn't have the roof. Well, it kind of looks okay that way because I think it needs to be finished, but it kind of looks like it's old and abandoned, you know. So anyway, that's what a silo looks like. I went and took the shape of a circle that I learned how to make, and I think it looks pretty cool. So I still need to take that out too. Haven't done that yet. But you go down this dirt road over here. And I wanted to use that, the dirt block, because it's what it's supposed to be. But, oh, I didn't finish the gas station. Okay, fine. Well, anyway, that's the convenience store for the gas station. And then the gas station's over here. I mean, where you can get the gas is over there. Yeah, so we are trying to get everything down to where you can see the ocean. Before we go on our tour. Oh no, I forgot about them. Okay, see, this is my ship. And it's got apparently one rowboat. Okay, it's got one rowboat. It's supposed to have two. Anyway, it's got two rowboats and it goes down to, oh, this is a dining room. But there's no chair. I mean, there's no tables and no chairs at the moment because I'm building that. And then you go down the other one, the other side over here, where it's not supposed to be over here, but whatever. Oh, this is a secret passageway, by the way. It's actually got a ramp that goes up, not stairs, but yeah, it goes to the captain's quarters, which is also empty at the moment. There's supposed to be a desk in there. Anyway, this goes to the brig. Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the brig, but it's a lot smaller than it's supposed to be. And then this. Oh, that's Morgan's bedroom. The captain. And then this is a cargo room. So you go and put the stuff in there. Yeah, okay. There's supposed to be another one over here, but apparently we didn't put it in. So, okay, we're gonna go. Oh, and those squares were bedrooms. I forgot about that. Um, let's see if we can do this without getting kitty cats all over us. Well, kitty cats and puppy dogs. This is my mansion. And it is huge. It's supposed to have horses running around. And I don't know what happened to my horses. They were here and now they're not. Supposed to be a stable out here. And I don't know if I built it yet or not. And I don't want to land because if I do, did I? Okay, so far don't see anything. Yeah, I just see the back door. That's not what we're supposed to be using as a back door, though. Yeah, we'll work on it another time, but we'll work on it. Okay, so anyway, there's a giant exercise room in there. Obviously, the floor's not there yet. And there's an infirmary over here, and there's a dining room and a few other things. Anyway, it'll be great when it's done. There's bedrooms, there's bathrooms. I finally built the bathrooms. Not nearly enough bathrooms because I'm just saying, what if all 600 people, it's very unlikely, but what if all 600 people got sick at the exact same time? And shoot, I gotta go inside because I think that's where I gotta go. I would go through the garage door, but I don't have an empty. There we go. Okay. Oh, okay. So I just gotta trade this boat out for that minecart. Said it backwards, but oh, elevator. See all the pretty windows, and that's a TV. There's supposed to be a couch right here. I don't know what happened to it. I probably just haven't built it yet. Michael and Daisy's room eventually. Sean and Ashley's room eventually. Oh boy. One whole table got done, the captain's table. And this eventually will be the kitchen over here. So I tried to build the house the way it's supposed to be built. So I have the stairs right here where they're supposed to be. One of these rooms is Jonah Pendragon. One of these rooms is Jonah Castle. And I don't remember who the other one goes to, but... Oh no. Anyway, over here on this side somewhere is also supposed to be Jesse and Chantel's room. The first one is their sons. William and Hayden. I think we're supposed to go this way. Okay, so I'll take you for a tour. I think I'm in like savanna biome or something like that. I just saw grass and I was happy, so. Normally you would stop and then go, but anyway. That's supposed to be a stop sign. I did leave the village that the villagers are living in. But they can come out, I think, and, you know, hang out in fictional Ireland if they want to. Oh, yay, it's raining! So, like I said, that's the gas station. You're supposed to be able to see it from way over there. And, I don't think you can, but, you know, we tried to go and show it as a, you know, on the tour here, we tried to show it as a, thing to see, you know. And then going down the road more. Eventually that will not be there, that big old gap there. Yeah. And except for, you know, making sure that we're going in the right we're seeing in the right direction. Um, my hand is not pushing that minecart. It's the only redstone thing we have in here is that when you go over that yellow part, oh, well, the square before it, it lights up the yellow part, and then that is the only redstone that we're going to have in the whole entire build. Um, that house right there, well, I mean, like all of those houses, my son helped me build. Um, maybe not that row specifically, but like from the second or third street on, he built all those houses, and then we had to go back and add the 2 stories. But other than that, you know, he built them in bamboo, and then or dark oak, and you know, for the 2 stories, dark oak. And then I've been recoloring, repaint. I call it repainting them to the color that they're supposed to be. And just in case you're also thinking of offering me art help, I don't think I said it very sensitively, but really, me and my husband are like struggling to pay the bills right now. We really need, uh, you know, we really need a whole bunch of people to start buying my books. Because it seems to be the only thing that I can do without getting fired, you know? And the last one wasn't my fault. I did not do the thing I got accused of, and I would like to seek justice if I could, and I just don't know how to go about doing it. But anyway, see, that's a lovely house. It's a representation of my house that I grew up in, except for the 2 stories. I had to go and change those. But the 1 stories are definitely you know, they mostly look like what I grew up in. Very small house, but I loved it. Like when my parents got divorced, my dad asked me, did I want to go with my dad or my mom? And I'm like, well, I want to keep both of you. And they're like, and then he was like, well, if you had to choose, I'm like, I want to stay with the house. So dad made sure that he had the house. So I think I need to go and take that sign that I have and mark the street that I left off on. So I was building them out of planks, and then I decided that that wasn't so great. So I started building them out of see, that one was planks, and I don't like that. I like the wood, you know. It looks solid for some reason. The planks don't. But so it'll be the thing of I'll come back through here and turn it from the planks to the other stuff later, probably. But yeah, I built this so I would know where everything is especially in the mansion, because, like, in one scene, it's a nice, cozy living room, and, people are watching TV, and there are some, there is a little bit of a gap, and then there's those recliners, but, it's a lot smaller room. But then in another scene, they're having the costume party that Ashley's throwing just because she wants to throw a party, and it's a lot bigger. It's one of those big casino banquet hall things. Um, so I had to go and build it to find out what it looks like. And my husband wanted to see what it looked like too, because we kept on having little arguments. Actually, I think we were having big arguments where um where he was saying I was thinking of it this way, and I'm like, I was thinking of it this way, and neither one of us is really good at explaining what we were talking about in the first place. So then we ended up arguing, and yeah, so I ended up building this. I've built it about 6 times, maybe 8. I don't know. I've built it a lot. Um, so I've built this like so many times. It's not even funny. Um, that's what my son did. He said he was going to take that out, and he didn't do it yet. Hasn't done it yet. Um, but yeah, we have these houses, and we have a car dealership over here. Although right now you can't. Oh, I was gonna say you can't really see it. Oh yeah, you can't really see it because it's just framework. Um, it'll get done eventually. Anyway, so that first one's Oak Street. This one's Spruce Street. The next one's Cherry Street. And you're probably going, okay, I am you know, uh, I've been playing Minecraft since day one, and I know that cherry is not the next wood that comes up. Yeah, but I decided it was going to be on Street 3 to make it pretty easy for Brandon to get home in the book that I needed Street 3 to be in, because that's where Brandon and Allison's friends live. Oddly enough, they live right next to each other and did not know that until that day when Rick called his dad and was like, um, uh, I don't know if he was. I don't remember what I was having him ask. I think he was asking about the car insurance, because his car wasn't working right. Brandon got it working good enough to get home, and he's going to have to get it worked on even more later. So, I think he was calling about the car insurance at first, and then, his dad's out of town. I think her mom's out of town, or something like that. Anyway, and her mom doesn't like Rick on principle. Like, because he's a boy. And then, I think it's Ernest, whatever the rest of that stuff says, is trying to sell me viewers on Stream Boo. It isn't that great, people trying to sell me viewers. Um, I can get I can get viewers on my own. B, more importantly than that, I will get them on my own or I will not get them at all. I'm not buying viewers. Um, and I feel bad because I think Anna thinks I was yelling at her, and I wasn't yelling at her. I was just explaining our situation and really telling her that it's not helping, offering help right now because I can't, I can't pay for it. And I know that that's what um, everybody's looking to get paid for their efforts, and I understand this. I totally understand this. I would love to get paid for my efforts. I love writing books, and I'm not writing them so I can become as famous as J.K. Rowling or um, Joyce Chayosky. I probably just butchered that. I'm sorry. Um, or, you know, S.E. Hinton with The Outsiders. Um, I'm not looking to get famous. I would just like people to buy my books so I can help out with the household bills and be able to do giveaways and maybe even go to Disneyland someday. Um, Me and my husband have been to Disneyland together, and I'm actually really afraid that if I went to Disneyland, I'd have a panic attack because there's so many people. But I have a plan for that. It's a dumb plan, but it's a plan because when you're wearing overalls, it's really hard to go to the bathroom, and I mean, it's really hard to get in there, get your overalls off in time to go to the bathroom. Um, I know we usually don't talk about going to the bathroom on this stream, but it makes it harder. And the idea is that I would have um, I'd have my wallet and my keys in a zippered pocket on the front of my overalls, where the pocket usually goes, but zippered. And oh, and my cell phone if I'm not actually physically using it, to record something or take pictures. Um, anyway, I'd have it in there, and then I wouldn't be worried that somebody's going to try to pick my pocket or anything like that, because seriously, if you're getting that close to my chest, I'm assuming my husband's going to say something about it if I don't, push you away first or yell security. So so I think it's a pretty good idea. When we get to the street that we need to recolor, I will stop for a minute and show you the inside of a one story and the inside of a two story. But I have no idea where that street is, so. And we're only going as long as we are right now because I just wanted to do a tour. I want to make sure everything still looks good, that the cloud worm did not come and eat everything. Okay, so I got the idea of the cloud worm from an episode or a special, I'm not sure which, of Care Bears or Care Bear Cousins. All I know is that they were trying to eat in, like the Great Hall kind of room. Um, like the Care Bear Castle, but the lunch room part of it. Um, anyway, they were trying to eat, and all of a sudden there was earthquakes, and they're up in the clouds, so an earthquake doesn't make sense. And it turns out that the cloud worm was eating the clouds, and that meant that he was eating the clouds that Carolot was built on, you know? So, unless it's Care Bear Cousins and then wherever they live, because I don't remember what it's called. But, you know, when my world got corrupted in March of, might have been April actually, because I started building it in late April. So yeah, my world got corrupted in April of 2024, and when that happened, I, I cried for a good long while because I had put so much effort into this, and there was nothing. There was big gaps, like if it was right here, there'd be a big tunnel there. And hopefully that will never happen on this world, because like I said, that square just before the yellow is the only form of redstone that we're using on this world. We're using sea lanterns, we're using yeah, basically we're just using sea lanterns for the lights. And it looks really good because when it's dark, it turns, you can see it even better. And then when it's light, you can see inside. You don't have to worry about the lights being off. But I had it to where you could turn the lights on and off. But then I also had my fireworks in the same build, and I think that's what messed it up. So now I've got my fireworks in that other build. Actually, I've got I've got a second copy of the original, or maybe I'm building it on the original. I'm not sure which. Anyway, I might be building it on the original. But anyway, the other version of this world has the fireworks in it. But I don't think it's turning out the way I want it to. I really don't think it's turning out the way I want it to. So, I mean, there's supposed to be mini grand finales when you get to the end of the street because the street's so long, and the going up and down the street, that is fine. That is turning out great. But it's the little grand finales that I don't like at the moment. I'm gonna have to, figure that out. But yeah, this is what I've been building. So I write about pirates, and yeah, I think uh, got I scared Anna off because she thought she was getting a sale, and I put it to her as best I could, I don't have that much money in the bank, and my husband is struggling to pay the bills at the moment because we've got one bill too many. So I really need everyone to, when we get the links in there, which hopefully by the end of the day today, I'm gonna try the end of the day today. I would like to have the links in there And on top of that, oh, and I put those links in Twitch and YouTube, by the way. So if you watch me on Twitch, then you'll be able to see all those links as well. And if you watch me on YouTube, then they're there in the description below. And yeah. See? You can see all the lights. It looks like a happy neighborhood. Everybody's home. They're watching TV with their family. Maybe they're eating dinner. The only problem is that we have it set up like my living room where we didn't have a dining room. We never used to eat at the table. I can totally tell you exactly what my address was and everything, in Susoon because it doesn't exist anymore. They changed it. They changed it from Cherry Street to Bay Street, but it's like actually the next street over from Cherry Street turned into Bay Street. So like Cherry Street is like where they park their cars. It's weird. We like kind of drove through there, I think on accident, or maybe we did it on purpose, but I think it was on accident. Anyway, so we kind of went that way and just wanted to see where stuff was. But anyway, so Cherry Street doesn't exist anymore. So I used to live at 711 Cherry Street in Susoon, California. And I wish it still existed and that I could buy that and use it as you know, as a place to stay when we're down there. I mean, we definitely have to do some dusting and, we would definitely have to do some dusting and, um, and, just make sure the sheets are washed and all that, the only problem with that is that there wasn't room for a washer and dryer. Yeah, that was weird. I think a big truck went by, so it blocked the sunlight from coming into the kitchen. And I'm literally just about on the opposite side of the house, but I can see that window from here, and it kind of turned dark for a moment, darkish for a moment. And I'm like, what? So I'm just assuming that a big truck went by. I don't know if big trucks are supposed to get on our street or not. The ones that would like deliver. Ooh, that's pretty. They're going through the Grand Canyon scene at Disneyland. Anyway, I don't know if like big delivery trucks are supposed to be going down our street, but they do anyway, so. So, I don't know what the heck, but. I was thinking that if I needed to, I could, I don't necessarily want to use the AI to come up with that. But I could like take I might be able to take a picture of the build but nobody seems to like nobody seems to like my Minecraft art. Nobody seems to like my my AI art. So it's like, what do you do? You know? I mean, what do they want me to do? Hire Ansel Adams? I think that's his name. If I said it wrong, I'm so sorry. I know his last name's Adams. I just don't know how to say his first name necessarily. or at least it sounds foreign in my mouth. Um, it just sounds funky when I say it, is what I'm trying to say. Um, so like when I was having a dream about, you know, this part of town that had trees on it. And it will have trees eventually. It just doesn't have them right now. Um, I'm trying to get all the trees set up from, going from the lake to, um, going from the lake to that part, and then I can figure out the trees from there. It'll be so easy to put in the trees, but the problem is that I think part of that, part of that problem is that eventually it's going to end up as part of the mountain, and I'm getting a little, actually, I'm getting a lot confused where all the trees go, where the road's going, where I really got to get back to that project and build it. And then as soon as I get up that high, I've got to build a bed and breakfast. It's Grammy Patricia's bed and breakfast, and it's got a um, it's got, where you park. It's all dirt, and anyway, it'll look nice eventually. So, oh, I guess this is Acacia Street. Kind of forgot to say what trees were on which street. I think that was Jungle Street. Anyway, we'll figure it out eventually. One of these days. That's got to be Dark Oak Street because those trees are a lot bigger. This time when I go and build the island, I'm gonna have to build a much bigger build and have the 6 trees. At least 6 big trees. So there'll be, some regular oak trees, and then there'll be, maybe there'll be all kinds of trees. But at least there'll be the regular oak trees, and then there will be the, anyway, there'll be the regular oak trees, and then there will be, the dark oak trees, so those are the big ones. And then, whatever else. So I know which direction my husband said he went, and I know which direction that phone call just came from, and they don't match, so... I mean, if my husband calls and it says my husband's name. Well, at least it's on the sidewalk this time. Usually the chicken's out in the street or in somebody's yard. Oh, I did put a marker in there. What's this? Bamboo, bamboo, bamboo. What? Oh, okay. So, no, it's this street that. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's this street that needs it. So, hold on a minute. And I go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. I'm done being a Ninja Turtle, I think. So I think it was Corey Feldman. Turns out that he is the voice of a Ninja Turtle. And I thought that was really cool. And another thing, I have to check. I totally have to check Disney for Dancing with the Stars. But Corey Feldman was on the same Dancing with the Stars as Steve Irwin's kid Robert Irwin. Um, but he didn't make it all the way through. He's just like um like he might have been able to do it when he was a kid, but he just kind of felt stiff and okay, so he's been at Disneyland. So unless they went to Universal Studios all of a sudden. I feel like I ought to know where that is. And I don't. It's like a couple of doorways that look like they'd be on Zorro. Disney's Zorro. And a Disneyland park bench but fancier. I just don't know. Oh, maybe in New Orleans Square and they're so far back that yeah, okay. Okay. He's like in the last car maybe. And he's like in the last car and he was just looking at an odd angle. Oh, so some of those are colored and some of those are not. And there's reason for that. I somehow got the colors mixed up at some point in time. And, like I said, some point in time, I have no idea. Um, but I got the colors mixed up, and so I'm going to have to go and find that one spot over there and make sure that all of these are colored the way that they're supposed to be colored. That little bridge there leads to the hospital and the ER. Yeah, we've even got mangrove trees. Those were really hard to put in. What? I came around here and put the garage doors in. Oh my goodness. Did I somehow, like, not have that anymore? Again? No, it's all there. Okay. Because at one point I could have sworn I put it in and then it said I didn't. And I'm like, what the? And so I put it back in and it's like, okay, we can do this. And it's been like that ever since. But yeah, and mangrove trees grow really weird. I mean, is this like kind of trees that I can see in like the jungle or the Congo or something? Um, I don't really know where the Congo is. I just know that there's a movie named Congo, and it had these big gorillas, and I think they were unaliving people. But that's about all I know. I basically know what I saw on the commercial. So, yeah. Oh, good. So this is Street 8, otherwise known as Mangrove Street, or Drive, or Way, or Lane, whatever. Um, so that means the next one after that is number 9. And the one after that is number 10. And that's got town on it. There's not much of town, but there is town. And actually, I had to make the bar a lot smaller than it was supposed to be. It's probably technically called a pub, but I don't know. So I just called it the bar in my story. Anyway, so you'll see colors on top of the fence, and it may or may not be right. I have no idea. But one of these days, we're going to go back to painting houses, and we'll get it right whether we like it or not, whether we cry or not. I'm saying crying because, I get frustrated and I'm like, why isn't this working? Why is this not doing what it's supposed to do? Oh, yeah, I was going through that yesterday and I was like, I was looking at the title of the video and it's like, yeah, that's the correct title of the video. But then I was like looking at, say, the time and I'm like, oh, that's a different time. Okay. So then I knew I was missing one somehow. Anyway, this is the weirdest street because it's got the mangrove trees, but we're working on it. And then this is going to be a bunch of bamboo houses, I think. Yeah. This should be a bunch of bamboo houses and the dark oak. Um, no, that might be. Oh, this is a pale oak. I recognize the bottom of the wood. So this is a pale oak, and then I think we're back to oak on the um. Oh, good. So Alira, I'm hoping I'm saying her name right. Uh, underscore Voss followed me 2 hours ago, and Aria05542 followed me 3 days ago. So thank you. I appreciate having new people on here. I appreciate, every single person who chats with me, whether they're offering me art help or not. I appreciate everyone who chats and watches my videos and watches my streams. And I'd like to have more. Oh, and they changed the goal. It's I've got to have um I don't know. I think it was like I have to have 4 unique viewers during a month or something like that. Which sounded a lot easier to do. Sounded a lot easier to do. Um, so I've got 2 people today that, no, I think 3. I've had 3 people today that were unique and, and, okay, so they were unique and, definitely different, different people and verifiable. That's what I was trying to come up with, is verifiable. Oh, it wasn't on there that I was trying to look. So anyway, this is going to look really nice when it's done, and we'll be able to do a tour through it, and you'll be like, oh, look, the colors! But you'll still be going, boring, boring, waiting for the end of the street. I know that. I mean, hopefully you won't. Hopefully you'll be like, you know what? I said we were going to go into a 1-story house and a 2-story house, and I totally forgot to do it. So we will stop here. So a 1-story house. Oh, you can't get in there. Okay. I keep forgetting, especially if you don't have the this part. I could have sworn I went in there and made all those parts, but okay, so in my house, this was the living room, and there was a flimsy bookshelf over here with a tarantula, a fish tank with the tarantula in it. Her name was Spidey, and I remember there being a window here too. But and we did not have that big of a TV. We literally had a TV about that size, because that was before big screen TVs. But I decided to give everybody a big screen TV. And then this was a bathroom. It was a lot longer front to back, but the tub was over here. The wait, yeah, the tub was over here. The sink was over here, and the potty was over there. And then there was a window here, and the counter went from here or here around, and this was the stove. And the refrigerator was actually over there. This was my bedroom, except for it was L-shaped. It went this way and that way. And then my parents' bedroom over here, it was more of a square shape. But anyway, there was a closet right here. And I always thought it would be really cool if the closet there led to the closet here, but I didn't have a closet. But I still thought it would be really cool. And this was a hall closet. So, like, part of this was eaten up by their closet. But anyway. So yeah, that's a regular 7-Eleven Cherry Street house. Built by my dad's uncle Walt, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I went and adapted it to this. So there's still the living room here and still the bathroom there. But this time we have stairs that go up here. Bedroom, 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 bedroom with its own private bathroom. And, the back door. And oh yeah, that was something when I was a kid, I had this back bedroom, right? Well, I kept thinking that somebody could come in through this door, grab me, and run for it, and they never did, thank God. They never did, but they could have. But after my dad put up a beware of tarantula sign, nobody wanted to go near our house. So it was awesome. Anyway, and this is a kitchen. Eventually it'll have a stove and eventually it'll have a stove, the range the hood range above the stove and stuff like that. So, yeah, I designed the 2 stories myself. I pretty much took the downstairs and just redesigned it a little bit. Instead of having the garage there, I put it in the middle. So, dang, we got 8 minutes, and I don't think we're going to be able to finish this tour in 8 minutes. So I decided to be silly and put a tunnel in there. A couple of tunnels. If the ambulance needed to drive there, that would be a disaster. They'd probably crash right in the middle. So, there's houses over here. That's a movie theater. It's not quite done yet because there's supposed to be a marquee right here to tell you what movies are playing. I think that's the soda fountain and that's the burger joint, or that's the burger joint and that's the soda fountain. One of those two. That's the store we don't talk about, and that is the bar that ended up being a little smaller than I wanted it to be. Actually, a lot smaller. This is the beginnings of a hotel. It's got the same problem as the mansion. It's so huge that it's not enjoyable to build, but I'm going to build it anyway. At least the hotel has the excuse of it can have smaller rooms, and I don't have to worry about it. And then that's the parking garage for the hotel. And then I don't understand this. I don't understand that. Anyway, and then there's going to be, a bank and a library and um what else? Oh, okay, now I'm pushing it cuz I forgot. Anyway, there's going to be a bank, a library, community center. If I can fit it in there, the um never mind. We'll do, we'll do it this way. Um if I can fit in there, the town hall or whatever it's called. Um but the community center is very important. Um when Ashley is pregnant with 6 babies, they go to a wine tasting, but Ashley's not drinking. Don't worry. Um Her husband is, and then he has to go to the bathroom after the first drink. And then somebody comes back out that looks an awful lot like, looks like triplets of Sean. Um, because she knows Jesse is at home. She knows that Sean went into the bathroom, but this Sean does not feel right. And so anyway, that brings us back to high school. But if we were able to go, if we had it all wired and ready to go, which we don't. Eventually we will, but just not today. Um, if we had it all wired up, we'd be able to go and ride the minecart and go this way. And yeah, so we're gonna go a little afternoon today because I wanted to do a tour. I've wanted to do a tour for a while now, and we're actually gonna do it this time. So far, most of my roads over here, where the buildings, where the town buildings are supposed to be, just go off into the sun. Yeah, yeah, basically go off into the sunset. Um, or oblivion, depending on how you want to look at it. Is your glass half full or is your glass half empty? Um, well, basically, going off into the sunset means you could come back, and going off into oblivion would pretty much mean you can't come back. So, yeah, I still don't. Oh, that's the last one where it's wired. Okay, I get it. 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 Okay, finally. Um, why wouldn't there be one on this side? Why wouldn't there be one on this side? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. I think there was a reason why there wasn't one on that side, but I couldn't tell you what. So, the movie theater will go through Cheyenne's ticket window here. Um, it's actually got, seats, and you sit down and you see that that's Sean that's bad guy, that's a bad guy, and Adam's right about here. Or he might be right there, but I keep thinking of him right here. And his duffel bag's right there. And yeah. So, and it's got the little window and everything. So then this one, I haven't built a scene yet, but it's got the little window. It doesn't have seats yet. We're working on it. Um, then this one, same story, but it's got the window. So that's all that really matters. I think that's a storage room, men's bathroom, women's bathroom. For some reason, we got wool walls. I have no idea why. Oh, I think this is supposed to be Toby's family's house, but I'm not sure. They live above the movie theater. And then the room with the um, movies. See, you can see from here that that's the movie that's on the screen. And oh wait, okay. So where does this go? Oh, and then the balcony. You know, this one's got a balcony. I don't know if the other ones are gonna have a balcony or not. I have no idea. Um. This is the concession stand, which was actually right here, but I had to put Cheyenne's ticket window somewhere. And technically it's supposed to be, Cheyenne's ticket window is supposed to be on this side, but then it would have looked weird on the outside, so we did it that way. This is Scott's office. Only Scott will understand that, I think. But anyway, yeah. So I hope Cheyenne's happy that I included her in my build because Cheyenne's the one that, did the tickets. Anyway, so then we keep going down this way and we made it more like what it's supposed to be. The I always have this corner right there in the thick of things. You know, that corner is literally right there. Or there's like sidewalk and then right there, but that's how I have it in my head. But I decided I wanted it to be fortified. It's got to be more like um Alcatraz, hard to get to. There's a door here somewhere. At least I thought there was. Maybe it's on the other side over there. Or maybe I haven't put it in yet. Oh, I thought some of the the water was missing. Um, I know that's got a door in here somewhere. Oh, it's super windy outside today. Usually when it's super windy like that, that means that oh, because of the water on the left side. Okay. I'm cool. I mean, I get it. There's another village. It's gonna be underground, but it's a village. There'll be the underdwellers. Brownie points for anybody who remembers that. So if you're not knowing what brownie points are, it's where we're not really having a contest, but you get points for remembering anyway. Um, yeah, it said that I could put quizzes in my YouTube videos, and that would be great if I recorded on YouTube. But it was asking me if I wanted to put a quiz in afterwards. Like on the same page that you set the end page up with. And I was like, that is so cool. So I might do that. I don't know. But I might. Okay, so we will go this way. Somewhere along this road, I think this just goes to a dead end at the moment. Not entirely sure, but I think it just goes to a dead end. Yeah, it just goes to a dead end. I'm still trying to figure out where I want the lake to be. I haven't been over here in probably months. Yeah. So it just goes to a dead end, turns around, goes this way. I think I have it going a certain way when we get to a certain spot, but I don't know. I just know that today the video was running a little longer because I wanted to be able to show everything off and see if everything was still intact the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, that's what you want to see when you're on the monorail, a FedEx truck. No offense to FedEx. Literally, no offense to FedEx. Just, when you're going to Disneyland, you want to have, you want to know that you're in Disneyland. So I tried to build the Kaiser Clinic in Fairfield, California as best as I could. And I think I did a fair job. Not perfect, but fair. And then back here, like specifically here, that's going to be, you come in here, ambulance, go up the ramp, and you get brought into one of these rooms that don't exist. Yeah. Yet. They don't exist yet. But this is only important because one of these upstairs rooms over here is Sean and William have had a big ol' argument because Sean did not want to be goaded into unaliving his father-in-law because this is after something happens in the captain. It's after the captain visits, and so this is what the car dealership looks like so far. So far. There's gonna be like big car bays back here. And then, those are balloons. I don't know why I picked those colors, but those are the colors I picked, and that's what is there. Like I said, these are all going away. This is supposed to be a big empty field. Oh, that's got to be fixed. Yay. And this still needs to be taken out. And that stuff too. Yay. Okay. Anyway, so Luke, uh, just started putting in stuff in a bunch of houses in my world. And it's like, this is not the one that you experiment on. You can experiment on the one that says just because it's not that important. If it got corrupted, it'd be okay. If it got corrupted, we would not be surprised. It's got like a million fireworks on it. This is the road to Grandma Patricia's. Obviously, it's not finished yet. The trees haven't grown, and the road will end eventually. See, some of the trees have grown, but not all of them, and I'm going to need to bone meal every single one that hasn't grown. And it's going to be annoying. It's going to be tedious. It's going to take forever. But we're going to get it done. And then, yeah, see right here, it ends. So we're still trying to get it all the way up. I wanted water around it so it looks really nice. And then there's going to be like 50, there's probably going to be like at least 50 blocks, maybe 100, where there's trees. And then we can start building Point Reyes, California in fictional Ireland. It's not really Point Reyes, California. It's just, that kind of camping ground. So this is the diner. So far, it's a big empty hole in the ground. And then, of course, the parking lot. More parking lot over here. The gas station. Oh, that's gonna be the store to go with the gas station. Oh, that's way too big. That's okay though. Random building number 1 and number 2. But what are we calling them? Yeah, random building number 1 and number 2. Okay. When you have dreams, there's often a random building and you're like, what the heck? But you have no idea. So, yeah. Oh. Okay. The shooting range, airsoft field, and paintball field are that way. Costco that way. Movie theater somewhere in here. Houses somewhere in here. Pirate store. It's gonna be like right here. I think. High school, that was over here, but it could be planted over here. We have no idea. I pretty much want to build it exactly how I built the other one, but an indoor model. So I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Camping Visitor Center for the Point Reyes, California campground. Um, the Australian restaurant I forgot. The Chinese restaurant I always build. The elementary school, the junior high, the preschool, maybe a fish store. Um, you know, all that stuff goes over here. Okay, so then we go back over here. Follow this road. Ugh, follow this road. Somewhere over here, making me want to sing somewhere over the rainbow. But I can never sing that one in order. Because I remember her saying bluebirds fly, and somebody else, everybody else always sings it different. So, anyway. We had the movie theater over here, but I didn't like that because Penelope's is supposed to be the first place in the town other side of Banshee Hill. That's how that's how it's stated in my books, and that's how it's gonna be. Then that's gonna look really good when it's done. Of course, I may have to go and get weird and put barrier blocks in there. So you go this way enough, and there is a very weird lighthouse. And I was going to put a beacon in there. I was basing it off the lighthouse on Pete's Dragon. And I had to build that because my circle wasn't circling. My circle over here was not circling, and I don't have any idea why, but it just wasn't. And eventually it became a thing. It was just fine, but not to start out with. And I've built that like 682,000 times. I'm kidding about the number, but it was a lot. So there's going to be a bunch of trees over here. This is a forest. Well, that forest has a clearing where Sean likes to go to get inspiration, to draw pictures, and I decided he's a very special artist. He can draw stuff like it's a photograph. So if he sees somebody stealing money out of the bucket, if he sees somebody stealing money out of the bucket for children's charities or whatever at Toby's movie theater, then he can help. Okay, so see that goes down to the ocean. Eventually that will all be taken out. Hopefully I can uh, have my son help me without getting fear of he's going to take something out or add something that I never asked him to add or anything like that. Um, this is supposed to actually be one of those wide sweeping, it goes curve over there, but I can't figure out how to do that without making it look really stupid. So, I swear, like right there was a tower. I almost think that in every single build, like, there's a possibility that the reason why Mojang can't bring everything that we ever wanted to the game, besides that it would probably crash, um, is that maybe they've got a staff of, we'll call them hecklers, um, but that's not really their job. The heckling, that's not their job. Is to drive people crazy by putting things on people's worlds that they only see for a few seconds, and then enough to register in their brain, and then they make it go poof. Now, if I didn't know that they seemed to be a lot nicer company than that, I might actually think that that's true. So anyway, um, yeah, I don't really think that they do that, but, like, um, Brianna Plays has been on her world, and she'll say, "Did I see that?" And then she'll go back and look, and there's nothing, and she didn't like rewind it and look at it, so she doesn't know. So then she gets kind of paranoid. And then Preston Plays has had that happen too. Like he's looking at a certain building, and there was a like a bad guy villager, but they don't make bad guys. So what's going on here? And then I'm sure it's happened to Waddles too, and now it's happening to me, so weirdness. Anyway, so I write books. They're available on Amazon in hardback, paperback, and ebook. The paperback ranges from $20 to $25, depending on which book you're getting. Oh, and $6 for the children's book. So Adopted Coral. Adopted is the series, Coral's the book title, and that one is only $6 and should be able to be read by children. I think it would make a great Easter present. And then there's my pirate books, where the first three are the Rolling Sea beginnings. So Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times. That introduces the captain, her boyfriend, and her ex-boyfriend, the first mate. And then I kind of rushed the storyline there, so I don't. I you know obviously I gotta keep it that way, but it feels rushed. But anyway, the books are good. It's just the storyline getting rushed like it was, just seems, off to me. But the storyline of each book is good. So then there's the Rolling Sea Traitor series. It's still part of it's still part of the whole thing of it being the Rolling Sea, and they're all going to flow together. Like like Esperanza's party flows into the island, and the island flows into Lessons in Love. Lessons in Love flows into Test in Love. Test in Love flows into Caught. Caught flows into Solitary. And I don't know who the mailman is talking to on their cell phone. I don't think they're supposed to be doing that while they're delivering mail, but I don't know. Um, I kept trying to get a job at the post office, and they said, like, I had to go to Oakland to do the training, and I couldn't get there. Finally. Okay. So my husband will be happy when he gets home, because it's windy outside. He finally got his birthday card from my parents. Every year they send a birthday card for both of us, and they send Christmas money, and it's pretty awesome, because usually that money, I mean, in times past, it's been that money came in just in the nick of time. Like, some bill was saying pay now or else, and we were able to pay it because of that money, or it went to food, or some other bill. So it was awesome, but uh, I was able to take my money, and um, we went to the movies. We saw Casablanca for my birthday. And it's like, okay, well, Casablanca's a pretty good movie. The only thing I didn't really like was that, the guy's supposed to get the girl at the end of the movie. It's supposed to be like, you've got mail, you finally find out that, I mean, Joe knew all along. I mean, not all along, but he figured it out a lot sooner than she did. And so they get there at the park at the end of the movie, and I mean in the park at the end of the movie, and oh my gosh, there was somebody still wearing a COVID mask. On the other hand, it might have been hay fever. An allergy mask. But anyway, um, or like at the end of the movie, they meet each other in the park, and she's like, I was hoping it was you. She's like, she's still upset at him for putting her out of business, but then on the other hand, he's the one that made her think about writing children's books instead of just reading them. And I still want to know the title of that book that she was reading in You've Got Mail, because it sounded so interesting with her reading it. So even though it's a kid's book, I want to read it too. Or like, again, Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, uh, Joe versus a volcano. She's like, Joe, marry me. And he's like, yeah, but I'm just about to jump into this volcano. And she goes, she basically goes, well, I'm going to jump in there too, but, you're going to be married for like, what, 5 minutes? He's like, okay. So they get married. They both jump into the volcano together at the same time. And the volcano gobs them out again, as the wording was on Harry Potter. What if the goblet gobs you right back out? Gobs your name right back out again, or whatever. I haven't listened to that one in a very long time, so just bear with me, please. But um, so they jump into the volcano, and it you know gobs them out or whooshes them out or whatever you want to say, and the whole entire island sinks. And they're like worried because they're like super worried because they're out in the middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden his trunks that uh bought he bought four of them. um they all showed up in the water, and they're floating. So they're about to go, and he's getting worried, and he's like, yeah, but we're still out in the ocean, and there's no land in sight. But he wasn't saying it like before, like like the lights were sucking his essence out, and because that's basically how he was saying it. And um he the thing was that he was hypochondriac, ever since he quit being a firefighter. Something traumatic happened, and he quit being a firefighter. So then he ended up being a hypochondriac. um I've got a sore throat. He doesn't have a sore throat. He just, you know, doesn't like his life, and um, he doesn't like his life. He really does not like his job, and he just needed the bravery to be able to do something else. Apply to something else, but he didn't have it. So he goes to this one doctor. Did not even get a second opinion from a different doctor, and yeah, so he's got a brain cloud. And she goes, oh, a brain cloud. Yeah, that's something my dad would think of. I think it was her dad. Anyway, um, or like, Snow White, um, Sleeping Beauty. I mean, those aren't really shining examples because they met the first man they met, you know. I mean, at least, literally, at least with Aurora, she shared a dance before they got married. And they sang together. They talked a little bit, and then it's, wait till you meet him. And they tell her that she can't see him ever again. And then she finds out that the guy that gave her the, love's first kiss is the one that Is that the one with Love's First Kiss? Anyway, anyway, the one that gave her Love's First Kiss is the guy that she was talking to all along. So hopefully she got to she got to know him first before they got married, but never know. And uh Robin Hood and Maid Marian, they in the Disney version they were childhood sweethearts, and um it was probably like Robin Hood Prince of Thieves where you used to pull my hair as a child. Um she doesn't she doesn't remember anything about Robin Hood except for the bad stuff at that point. Anyway, you're supposed to end up with the girl, and the only thing wrong with Casablanca is that he didn't end up with the girl. The girl ended up going back with her um her boyfriend or husband or whoever it was, and I've only seen it once, by the way, so please don't chastise me for not knowing. Don't get upset at me for not knowing because I've only seen it once. But it was nice to see it in the theater. I like seeing movies that have been on DVD for years or streaming service or whatever. I like seeing them in the theater. It's fun, especially Grease, because there was like a whole scene. Um, when they're singing, I think it's when they're singing "Summer Nights." Um, Anyway, it's the one where they go to the lunch table and they're going ba ba bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba. You know. Anyway, and then they sit down and Frenchie introduces them. This is Sandy Olsen and that's Marty and this here's Rizzo and yeah, I've seen that movie a million thousand times probably. So I've literally been watching that one all my life, so I can quote parts of it. I think I ought to be able to quote the whole entire thing. Like, I also think I ought to be able to quote The Outsiders, but I can't. I can quote part of it. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had two things in my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home. Thinking about Paul Newman because he looks tough and I don't. And that's, when my memory stops. But he wishes that he, uh, uh, his eyes were more gray than green because he hates most guys with green eyes. Why do you have to hate anybody? I mean, there's one person I'm really not fond of because she's the one that fired me for nothing and got away with it. Thank you very much. Well, she did and she didn't at the same time. Few months later, they got rid of her. Nobody liked her. She she did not have a very good um uh yeah, the way she talked to people wasn't good. She talked to us like, she was the queen and we were the people who were supposed to clean up the castle, you know? And it's like, that's not what you do. If you want people to, do the stuff that you want them to do, then you go and be nice to them. You catch more flies with honey than you do with, um, being rude and like, say, coming at them with a sword or a gun or something. So, anyway, why am I still on here? I have no idea. I just know I'm hungry, so I better end this. So anyway, my books in the hardbacks range from $24 to $27, and the paperbacks, like I said, like I've been saying, are 20 or 25, except for Coral's book, because that is 6. It's a lot shorter book. It's 26 pages. And technically it's 24 pages, but 2 of them are blank. So explain that one to me. I have no idea. But anyway, um if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow and chat. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and as soon as I get this one and this one done, I think we'll end the stream. I'm not making you wait until I get all the way down to the bottom. That's going to take forever. Been trying, I've been working on this for days. But if I can get done and then get that, get the part with the 10. Okay, so there's this wall here, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then the water is going to be down here somewhere. So if I can get that done, then it'll be great. But if I can't get it done, then that'll be annoying. Wait, so did I finish it? Or am I not up at the spot where I was? No, it has to be down here. Yeah, okay. So I will see you in the next stream or video.